Hi, welcome to another edition of Heroes on Our Island. I'm Mike Stevens. In these tough times, we're all looking for positive stories to inspire us, and that's what this show is all about. We profile Long Islanders who are giving themselves in some way and overcoming great obstacles in life. Coming to you this week from Farmingdale. We're at Farmingdale State College, which is celebrating its 100th anniversary this year. Let's go to Coram now to meet an 86-year-old man who's not letting a little thing like age get in the way, especially when it comes to making music. Jessica Fregoso has a story.
Summer stuff. I got me some summer stuff. Summer stuff for that summer moon.
Ranny Reeve may be 86 years old, but he's still singing the tune he wrote 60 years ago, Summer Stuff. At that time, Ranny says he was working on a farm in the East End and teaching piano lessons.
I was dating a girl from Jersey who was summer stuff. She came up with her family and stayed out at the summer places in Jamesport. And I'm in the middle of a beet patch, working on this farm, pulling beets, when this idea of summer stuff is raining and all this, and I've got a date with her that night. But then come September, she's going to leave, and I'm going to be alone. And so that's where the idea came from.
Throughout his career, Ranny has written a countless number of songs, from jazz to lullabies. Ranny grew up on his father's potato farm in Riverhead. Ranny's love for music started when he was just 11 years old. He recalls the song that changed his life.
Ba-ba. Benny Goodman's theme song, Let's Dance. Something went on in the knuckle of my big toe for about 4 minutes, from where the toe meets the foot. It's a response to that theme song, that rhythm. I had an epiphany like that.
We spent the day with Ranny, and he had plenty of stories to share, from the time he saw Duke Ellington perform live in the city to 6-year-old Joey, who made up his own song, The Jumping Jelly Bean. Making and teaching music has been Ranny's life, and since he was in his early 20s, the musician and composer has spread his talent all over Long Island.
He's keeping the blues and jazz and the arts alive.
Malik has been a student of Ranny's for 3 years. The 15-year-old plays both the piano and saxophone, and he has performed with Ranny at a number of venues. Zach says he likes his style of teaching. Ranny has always been a big fan of improvising and playing by ear.
I follow the kid. Make up your own songs.
He's definitely increased my appreciation for music. I like how chords are built, and now I can listen and play stuff by ear.
Ranny has been a big influence and helped shape many aspiring musicians of tomorrow. While his students now come to his home in Coram, for decades Ranny would spend his days driving to his students' homes to give piano lessons. Ranny says he would also host jam sessions in his living room for the children when he was living in Fort Salonga.
Every little kid in the neighborhood down in Fort Salonga, which is part of Kings Park, had to be somehow entered into his parlor and learn how to play this, learn how to play this, learn how to play this. And he would have 1 or 2 recitals by the end of the year, and I'll be damned if most of the kids couldn't do something.
Why do you love teaching children?
Some of the damnedest things come out of. I'll never forget a little kid about 7 years old was messing around, and when I was teaching him by ear, he had a good ear. He was picking out tunes. I went and teach him, "Hey, Mr. Reeve, look what I found out of the air." And he played me Camptown Races or something like that. Picked it all out by ear, found it out of the air.
Music has always been Ranny's way of communicating and connecting with others. He has taught students from as young as 4 years old up to 87. Peter Cameron has known Ranny for almost 30 years. Ranny first taught his son how to play the piano, and for the past 10 years, Ranny has been teaching Peter every Wednesday afternoon. Peter has also continued something Ranny founded.
There was something back when I first met Ranny called the North Fork Jazz Ensemble. And that was Ranny's group, and they would play at libraries or state parks or fashion shows or wherever, wherever there would be useful events for them. And they would rehearse once a week at the house of a keyboard player that lives in Southold. And eventually that rehearsal moved into my house. And now for the past 15 years, I guess, we've had Monday night jazz at my house.
There's also jazz in the living room at the Mills Pond House in Smithtown. The monthly session began in Ranny's house as a way for musicians to learn how to play and improvise. Over the years, Ranny has received numerous awards for sharing his gift of music. In 1997, the Kings Park Music Booster Club inducted Ranny into the Music Hall of Fame. In 2005, he was presented with a proclamation from the town of Riverhead. And this year, the Kings Park Heritage Museum renamed its annual jazz festival the Ranny Reeve Jazz Festival in his honor. The event took place last month, and Ranny says he's still blown away by the recognition.
I just looked out at the audience and I said there were between 300 and 400 people there, and I just said I'm flabbergasted. Anybody knows me knows how I like to gab. I ain't got nothing to say.
He called me twice when this is over. He says, this may have been the finest moment I've had in gathering, crowd, situation, songs, how well they were played. He said, it was just wonderful.
Ranny has certainly made his mark on the jazz and music scene here on Long Island. At 86 years old, Ranny is still teaching students at his home anywhere from 7 to 14 hours a week, depending on how he's feeling. He says he wants to continue to teach the next generation of musicians for as long as he can.
Till my summer stuff is my winter stuff. Summer stuff is my winter stuff. Summer stuff is my winter stuff to be.
Well, there's no doubt, making and teaching music is Ranny's life.